for the next 1 week, we will be handling one of the very important chapters in Bhagavad Gita, the 15th chapter. How many of you have never heard any talk on 15th chapter? Anyone? You've never heard any talk on 15th chapter? Okay. What is the speciality of 15th chapter? It is the shortest chapter. Chapter number 12 and chapter number 15, both of them, they have only 20 verses. Though it may be the shortest chapter, it doesn't mean it is insignificant chapter. The speciality of this chapter is, this is the only chapter where Bhagawan has given the name Shastra. Where does this term come? The last verse. What is the last verse of this chapter? Iti Purushottama Shastram idam uktam maya katha. Arjuna, I have given this Shastram to you. Etat buddhva buddhimansya kritakaryascha bharata. So Bhagavan says that this is Shastra. Now, what do you mean Shastra? So any what you call, any scripture in which these 6 topics, the most important topics of Vedanta, are covered, that scripture is called Shastra. What are the important 6 topics of Vedanta? Number 1, Jiva Vichara, analysis of the individual, Jiva, individual self. Number 2, Ishwara Vichara, analysis of who is God, what is his nature. Number 3, Jagat Vichara, analysis about this world. What is this world? What is the support source of this world? From where this world has come from, etc. Jiva Vichara, Ishwara Vichara and Jagat Vichara. 3. Number 4, Bandha Vichara, analysis about what is bondage. We have to clearly understand what bondage is. Bandha Vichara. Number 5, Moksha Vichara, analysis of what is moksha, what is the freedom from this bondage. What is the nature of freedom from bondage? Moksha Vichara. And then topic number 6. What is the topic which is left? Sadhana Vichara. What is the sadhana to be done in order to free us from bondage and attain liberation? How to gain moksha from bandhana? So sadhana has to be mentioned. What is the spiritual practice that has to be done? So that is sadhana vichara. So how many topics over? 6. Jiva, Ishwara, Jagat, Bandhana, Moksha and Sadhana. 6 topics. So any scripture which deals with these 6 topics, that scripture is a complete scripture. Such a complete scripture is called Shastra. You will be amazed. This is the only chapter where Bhagawan has used this term, Shastra. Just in 20 verses, Bhagavan has covered all these 6 topics. That we will be seeing as the day's progress. Just in 20 verses, all these 6 topics are covered. So after the talk is over, you have to see whether these 6 topics are covered or not. Right. That is why Generally, on important occasions, this chapter is chanted. We can't chant the entire Bhagavad Gita. So, in such occasions where you have to just, chant some verses from Bhagavad Gita, normally the 15th chapter is chanted. So, for example, when we have food, before having food, when the serving is happening, all the items are served, generally people chant this verse. I mean, this chapter. It takes hardly 5 minutes. 15 chapters chanted. So, to such an extent in Jnana etc., it has become popular that the moment we say 15th chapter, the name of the chapter is what? Purushottama Yoga. Instead of remembering Purushottama, what do we remember? We remember food. To that extent, this chapter has become famous. 15th chapter means we remember only one thing. Our food is going to be served now. So now, with this introduction, let us enter into the chapter. Repeat once. Om Shri Paramatmane Namaha. Om Shri Paramatmane Namaha. Atha Panchadashodhyayah. Purushottama Yoga. Bhagavan Uvacha Urdhva Moolamah Shakam Ashwatham Prahuramyayam Chandamsi Yasya Parnani Yastam Veda Savedavid. Together. Urdhva Moolamah Shakam Ashwatham Prahuramyayam Chandamsi Yasya Parnani Yastam Veda Savedavid. Yes. So this chapter does not begin with a question by Arjuna. Many chapters begin with a question. So here Bhagavan himself is volunteering to give some special knowledge. Arjuna, you must know this. Though you are not asking it, because it's a very important thing, because it is something which you must know, therefore I am telling this. That's the meaning. So Bhagavan himself is initiating this particular thing. Sri Bhagavan Vacha, the Blessed Lord said. What did Bhagavan say? Ahu, they ahu. Those people say, the great ones, the noble ones, the enlightened ones, the great rishis of the past, they speak about something. They ahu. What do they speak about? Ashwatham ahu. They speak about a tree. What is the name of the tree? Ashwatha tree. It is translated in English as people tree. They speak about a tree, the wise ones. Now, actually we know what is there. What is there for the wise one to speak about this tree? This tree, every one of us we know. No. This tree is very unique. It is very special. It is very different. What is the unique feature about this tree? Urdhva Moolam. This tree is such a tree. Its roots are upwards. Adha Shakam. And all the branches are downwards. Generally, what is the case? Shakha is Urdhvam and Moolam is Adha, isn't it? The roots are. The flames are going urdhvam. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಇರ್ತಾರೆ ಹೋಗುತ್ತಲ್ಲ ನಿಂತಾನ ಅಷ್ಟೇ ಬಿಟ್ಟು as long as there is no danger. Right. So this is the speciality of this tree. The roots are above. Urdhva means above. Urdhva moolam, the roots are above. Adhaha shakham, the branches are below. What else is the unique feature about this tree? This tree is avyayam. Avyayam means what? That which does not have vyaya. Vyaya means destruction. Avyaya means this tree is imperishable. There is another unique feature. Generally, any tree has got a date of birth and a date of death. It has to perish. Every tree has to perish. But this tree, it never perishes. Another unique feature. Not only that it never perishes, what is the name of this tree? Ashwatha. Now this name also is given with a specific reason. Ashwatha. Tha means to stay. Tha, stay. Shwa means tomorrow. That which stays tomorrow is called Shwatha. What is this tree? Ashwatha means what? That which doesn't stay tomorrow. Means what? It changes. It changes constantly, continuously. Today you see this tree, tomorrow the same tree is there, but it has changed. Doesn't mean Ashwatha. So this is it's an upside down tree, imperishable tree, and a changing tree. And what is another unique feature? So this first verse is full of this unique feature about this strange Ashwatha tree. What is another unique feature about this tree? Chandamsi yasya parnani. The leaves, they are not ordinary leaves. The ordinary leaves of people tree. No, these leaves are chandas. Chandas here means Vedas, Veda Mantras. So Veda Mantras are the leaves of this tree. This is another unique feature. How can Veda Mantras be the leaves? The discussion we will see later. So how many unique features over now? Urdhvamulam, Adashakam, Ashwatham, Avyayam, Chandamsi Parnani, and the sixth one, Yahatam Veda, the one who has known this tree. So Veda, he has known the entire Vedas. Knowing entire Vedas means what? Veda means Sarvavid. He has known everything. In this world, there is nothing for him to know. Sarvavid. The one who has known this tree has known everything. Such a tree. Who is speaking about this tree? Who is speaking? It is not mentioned. The wise ones, the enlightened ones, our ancestors, they speak about such a tree. So what is this tree? So before I go to the next verse, let us, there is a curiosity. What is this tree? Don't search it outside, you will not find it. This tree is what is called as Samsara Vriksha, the tree of transmigration. Okay, tree of transmigration, but what is it? Each one of us, we are these trees. Each one of us. It is me, this tree. That Bhagawan himself will prove later. Don't try to search for this tree outside. It is not somewhere. Each one of us. So this samsara vriksha is nothing but experience of constant change. This way we can translate. We are all experiencing. What are we experiencing? In one word, if we can summarize all our experiences, it is experience of constant change. This experience of constant change is called samsara vriksha. It's a very serious matter. What are we experiencing? We are experiencing change. When? Constantly. What are the things which are changing? Our body, is it changing or not? Are we experiencing its change? Of course, Swamiji. Asti jayate vardhate pranamate apakshiyate vinashyate. Once upon a time it was in the womb of the mother. Then it came out, it grew, the childhood stage, the teenager stage, adult stage, old age, and finish. Change. Constant change. We are experiencing it. What about the mind level? Is it changing? Yes, mind is a seat of emotions. Our emotions are constantly changing towards things, beings, situations. That person whom I liked very much, that very same person, my best friend, few years and he becomes the greatest enemy. Yes or no? See, emotions have changed towards things, beings, situations. So mind is changing, body is changing. What about intellect? My philosophy is about life. What gives happiness? As years pass by, as I gain greater and greater understanding about life, my philosophy about life also changes. Yes or no? Generally people think money is everything. So the whole life it goes full throttle towards earning wealth. And then a time comes, if at all it comes, he comes to know, no, money is not happiness. Suddenly philosophy is changed. Especially we find with Vedantic seekers. With others we don't know, it is all the same thing. Balastavat Vedasakta, Dharanastavat Tarisakta. But when a person comes to Vedanta, there is an unbelievable transformation with respect to intellectual understanding about life. Throughout my life I thought world is the source of happiness. When I seriously seek spirituality, seriously seek Vedanta, I come to know the source of happiness is not the outer world. The source of happiness is within. And then what happens to this person? His seeking is not outward, his seeking becomes inward. Attention goes within. If happiness is here, why should I search there? Why should I invest my time and energy there? I must invest my time and energy here. You see? So the change, we are talking of change. Understanding about life, it changes. Body changes. Mind changes. Intellect changes. In the outer world also, see the change. When I was born, I was surrounded by whom? My parents, grandparents, maybe great-grandparents. They surrounded me when I was born. And when I died, who surrounded me? Assuming that you are in a joint family, not in some old age home or something, then who will surround you? Your children, grandchildren, great-grandchildren. See the difference? Throughout my life, how people around me, they change. Once upon a time, my school friends were there. They changed. Then college friends, they changed. Then professional colleagues. Finally, when I am retired, maybe some old people in my locality. See how the people change around me. You see? What is life? Here the first verse says, it is change. And who are we? We are the ones who are experiencing constant change. Samsara. Samsara means change. Now, the question is, do we like this change or do we dislike this change? Is this change a welcome change or not? No, if the change is towards a positive direction, it is most welcome. Isn't it? Change is not the problem. The question is change towards which direction? The problem with this change is, as far as the body is concerned, the final stages of change is always towards negative direction. Yes or no? What are the final stages of change? Old age, disease, death. Another problem with this change is, you cannot relax when changes are happening around you. You cannot take rest. You have to be constantly on alert mode. You can't relax. This is a problem with change. All the time there is worry, there is fear. What will happen tomorrow? I don't know. Because the nature of this world is uncertainty, unpredictability. You don't know what is going to happen next. So change is not very welcome, because it won't allow you to relax. And the whole of spirituality is how to relax. How to relax, not for some time being. No, I want permanent relaxation. I want permanent rest. Enough this nonsense. Constant change. I'm tired of this change. That is called moksha. I'm tired of this change. Suppose you want to lie down and sleep. What are the things you do? Have you ever observed? Suppose you are tired. What do you do? The first thing is you withdraw from the world of action. Yes or no? The world is full of activity. The first thing you withdraw from that world. The second thing, you withdraw from your own physical activity. Then you close your door, lie down on the bed. Physically now you are inactive. You lock the door so that no external disturbance comes. You see how you go to relax. You withdraw. And finally you are lying down, then you stop all the mental activities also. Right? Worldly activities, physical activities, mental activities. Then you invite sleep and then you go to sleep. Then you are completely relaxed. Isn't it? But suppose there is constantly a situation where you have to be alert. Let us say some cobras are put in the room. Will you be able to relax? No, anytime anything can happen, isn't it? You can't relax. You are tired, but so the problem with constant change is this: you can't relax. You are tired, but you can't relax. So what is this change? At the body level, at the mind level, intellect level, in life also, constantly situations are changing. Objects around, they are changing. Even if the life is over, it's not over. Again, another world, another body, continue again. This goes on and on and on. How long? Avyaya. It never ends. So what is science of spirituality? Science of spirituality is how to put an end to this traveling non-stop. Traveling from one world to another. traveling from one body to another, one experience to another, so that, generally you find when we go for picnic, etc., in the beginning there is a lot of excitement. After 2-3 days, you are mentally exhausted, financially exhausted, physically exhausted, then there is only one thought. What is the thought? When will I get back my home? Isn't it? You are tired. You are very tired. Now you have no more interest in seeing anything. You want to just relax. That's why the term sweet home. What is the sweetness in home? The sweetness is you don't have to be always on the alert mode. That is the sweetness. You can be as yourself, by yourself. You don't have to put a lot of masks. When you meet people, you have to put a lot of masks, smiling face, etc., etc. Inside you are not smiling, you are miserable. But externally you have to show. In the world, very many times you have to show so many things. Artificial smile, artificial emotions. It tires you. It exhausts you. It is like makeup. It is not yours. You have put on that particular expression only because of social pressure. And this tires you. But when you come back home, you don't have to put any mask. You can be as yourself. You can be relaxed. So what is science of spirituality? Science of spirituality is nothing but science of relaxation. But in order to relax, it's very important to know how you are getting tensed, exhausted. That's the first step. That's why this particular verse comes. First of all, understand that you are in a situation where there is constant change happening. And you are experiencing this constant change. And this change will not allow you to relax. You have to be always on the alert mode, because tomorrow what is going to, why tomorrow? Next moment what is going to happen, you have no idea. You think everything is settled, some new problem comes. Again you are disturbed. Then you have to find a solution for this change of situation. It is this change which is creating worries and anxieties and tensions and insecurities, etc. If everything is secure, permanent, unchanging, then we don't have to be tensed up. So here Bhagawan says, Arjuna, understand, you are in a world which is full of change. And this experience of constant, imperishable change is what is called as Samsara. What is the problem with Samsara? The problem is you can never have peace of mind. You can never have permanent peace. Now and then some peace you may get. What we need is permanent peace. You know why we go for sleep every day? After say working 10-15 hours we go to sleep. Why is that sleep? That sleep is nothing but clearing away all the exhaustion. So you can just imagine how much exhaustion. Imagine 16 hours of work and 8 hours of sleep. 1:2 is the exhaustion ratio. For every 2 hours you need 1 hour of sleep. But why are you getting tired? You are getting tired because you have always to be in the alert mode. Why alert mode? Because nothing can be predicted in life. Everything is unpredictable. So first of all, let us know this, that we are in a miserable world which is full of change. We just don't know what is going to happen. And generally only the negative things happen. That's why Bhagavan calls his world as Dukkhalayam Ashashvatam, impermanent and an abode of sorrow. First of all, we have to appreciate or understand what is sorrow. Only then we will try to come out of the sorrow. That's why this verse is given in the beginning. We are in a world full of change. And who are we? We are the experiencers of this change. Now an important question comes. Bhagavan, not an embodiment of compassion, of love? Why did you put us in this world? In this miserable world, pain-giving world. I am sure I have not chosen this world, but I know one thing, you are an omniscient Sarvajna Bhagawan. Why did you create this world full of suffering? Why am I put into this world? I have not asked this world, but you have put me into this world. So therefore, you alone have to be responsible for all my suffering. This is a question which generally people ask. Why did God create this world and make me suffer? God, why me? Is the question. Bhagavan's answer is, this world is chosen by you, is created by you. I did not do anything. You asked me, therefore that I gave this world to you. No doubt I gave this, but you asked, therefore I gave. Bhagavan, how is it? Second verse. We see the second verse. Some of the terms like Urdhvam, Moolam, Chandam, Sesya, Pradhani, etc. we will see later. So first we have to understand what the Samsara Vriksha is. Only then all those things become clear. So let us chant verse number 2. So what is the content of verse number 2? How do we create this world around us? अधश्चोर्ध्वं प्रसृतास्तस्य शाखाः गुणप्रवृद्धा विषयप्रवालाः अधश्च मूलान्यनुसन्ततानि कर्मानुबन्धीनि मनुष्यलोके अधश्चोर्ध्वं प्रसृतास्तस्य शाखाः गुणप्रवृद्धा विषयप्रवालाः अधश्च मूलान्यनुसन्ततानि कर्मानुबन्धीनि मनुष्यलोके. Yes. अधः च ऊर्ध्वं तस्य शाखाः प्रसृताः. This tree is described now. This tree upside down. So what is being described? Tasya shakha, the branches of this tree, prasritaha, it is spread. Where is it spread? Adhaha cha urdhvam, up and down. Adhaha down, urdhvam. So the branches are there all over. But what is the nourishment for this tree? Guna pravriddhaha, it is nourished by gunas. Vishaya pravala, and the vishaya, the sense objects are the pravala. Pravala means what? The shoot or nodular bud, we say. It is this bud which slowly grows and becomes a branch. So first step, a shoot comes and then the shoot grows and then finally becomes a branch. That's what is pravala, that shoot. Adhascha moolani anusantatani. So these roots have also gone up and down. Anusantatani is spread. Karma anubandhini, it is because of karma as a product of karma. And this is happening manushya loke. So this is what is said here. Now we have to go deep to understand what is being explained here. So first of all, we have to understand one very important thing about the tree. If you see, every branch starts with a pravala. So as that plant becomes a tree, what happens? The branches have not started. In the initial stages, these branches come out as a pravala, as a nodular bud, as an embryo. Like a sprout or something small, little thing. Now it is demanding nourishment. So from where should the tree take nourishment from? From the roots. And the roots also, there are two types of roots. One is the primary root, which is called a strap root. The second is the secondary root, which spreads out. Two types of roots are there. So here, Urdhva is the tap root, the central root, the primary root. And these roots which are being described here, they are the secondary roots which spread out. Now, what is the relationship between this pravala and the secondary root? This pravala, this nodular bud, it demands nourishment. So, from where will the tree get nourishment? It will spread out its secondary roots. Are you able to see the relationship? The secondary roots grow wide because there is a demand for nourishment. So then this branch also starts growing. Then again demands nourishment. Again the root starts growing. Again it takes nourishment. It again grows. So you will find that there is as the branches grow, these secondary roots also anusampadani spreads. There is a direct relationship between the growing of the branch and the growing of the secondary roots. That is what the point which we have to understand here. Right. Now, fine, that is a metaphor. But in our life, which is the secondary root and which is this nodular bud? Now see. What happens in life? So let us start with Vishaya Pravala. What is this Pravala, this bud? It is said here, it is Vishaya, sense objects. So, in this world, I am exposed to a set of sense objects. Now what am I doing in this world? My sense organs are interacting with sense objects. This is called as karma. What is karma? My sense organs. What are the sense organs we have? Eyes, ears, nose, tongue, skin. I am interacting. These are called as jnanendriyas, the organs of knowledge. So jnanendriyas are interacting with the sense objects, vishayas, indriya vishayas. So this is called as karma. Even the karmendriyas are also interacting, but for the time being, let us focus on jnanendriyas. Now, in this interaction, what happens? My sense organs are interacting with sense objects. Then what happens? In this interaction, either there is sukha or there is dukkha. Yes or no? Sukha or dukkha. This is the second stage. Now, when there is sukha, when there is happiness, what happens? It creates an impression in the mind. Nice. This has given me joy, so this is good. That impression in the mind is in the form of raga. I start liking it. What's the first step? Interaction. Interaction with the sense objects. What's the second step? You experience sukha. For example, that sukha will lead to an impression in the mind. What is the impression? Raga. I like it. This raga is called vasana, the impression in the mind. But suppose during interaction, instead of sukha, that sense object is giving dukkha. Then what happens? The impression generated is dvesha. I don't like it because it is giving dukkha. Right? Now, next time what will I do? All those sense objects which have given me sukha, I will keep them near me. I will chase them. I will get more and more of them. I will choose a situation where I can interact with them. Yes or no? And all those things which are giving me dukkha, what I will do? I will try to avoid them. This is what we do in life. Yes or no? And slowly what happens? What kind of world is around me? The world which is based on my own raga dvesha. Raga Nimitta Jagat. I create for myself. Are you able to follow? So who is creating my world? I myself. Through what? Through my Raga Dvesha. How did this Raga Dvesha get created? Through my interaction with sense objects. You see? Vishaya Pravala. What's the first one? Pravala. Shoot. But when did it start? That Pravala means what? Starting point. What is the starting point? The starting point is my interaction with the sense objects. That's the starting point. That interaction. Then what happens? The vasanas are formed. That's why the term karma anubandhini. Anubandhini means as a product of, as a consequence of karma. So these secondary roots, they signify the vasanas in the mind, and these branches signify the world around me. Are you able to see the difference? See the connection? So what is the branches of the tree? The world around me. And what are these roots? The vasanas in me. So the vasanas in me nourish the world around me. Just like the secondary roots nourish the branches. Every term has to be understood. Karma anubandhini, as a result of karma. If you don't interact with the sense object, there is no vasana, there is no impression, and therefore there is no world also. There are so many things I would have loved it, but since I have not interacted with it, I don't have desire for it. Isn't it? So what is the starting point? Interaction. That's why it is said Vishaya Pravala. That's why it is said Karma Anubandhi. Sense object is there. The moment you interact, karma, anubandhini, what comes? Vasanas. What is that vasana? Like the raga and dvesha. If you like it, you say, no, I want it more and more, more and more, more and more. And slowly you do all those actions to get more and more of that likable sense objects, pleasant sense objects. And slowly you create a world of sense object which is according to your liking. So what is Bhagawan trying to say here? This samsara vriksha is nothing but experience of constant change. Each one of us, we are in this world. And what are we doing? What is life? Experience of constant change is life. But how did I end up in this world? So Bhagavan says, you have chosen it. How did I choose it? I liked it and thus I chose it. But how did I like it? I interacted with it and thus I liked it. But to interact the sense object, yes, sense objects were there, interacted, raga dveshas were formed, based on raga dveshas I have chosen my world. Are you able to see the relationship? To give an example. So let us say this child is going to school, then this sports hour, and for the first time he comes to know what is cricket, let us say. Just one example, some stray example. Till then he did not know what cricket was. Then he saw this game, batting, bowling and all those things. He liked it. What is this? Vishaya Pravala. He was exposed. Till then he was not desiring cricket. Now he was exposed to this game. He started liking it. Then he started knowing more and more about this game. How to play well. What are the rules? Karmanubandhi. He liked it. And then what did he do? He wants to perform well. He wants to get appreciation from his friends, etc. So he said, I must play every day. So in the evening when the school is over, directly he will go to the ground. He will choose what kind of game. Somewhere somebody is playing cricket, immediately he will say, can I also join? Some strangers, he will just go and start playing. Every day evening he would play. He started liking it more and more. Then he came to know that coaching is given somewhere. But the only thing is early morning you have to go. Because that's the only time when he has. So what he does, goes there, 5 o'clock, he's ready. Why? He loves it. 5 to 6, coaching, cricket coaching. Morning 5 to 6 coaching, evening say 5 to 6 playing. Naturally when you are coached, your performance will be better. So in that school, the coach observes that this fellow is playing very well. Immediately he is selected into the school team. You see, God said. Let us say he is playing really well and he is spending a lot of time understanding the techniques of this game. Naturally he will become a master. So the college team also is selected, the district team also is selected, the state team is selected. Slowly what happens to his life? A time comes when he stops studying, pursues only. Isn't it? Once upon a time, studying was the most important thing. His father said, study, study, study. When he sees that he is performing far better and he can take out a professional career in it, what happens to the studies? Gone. But what is he doing with the rest of his time? Either he is getting training, he is practicing, or he is playing. And when he becomes a very international player, etc., interviews, what kind of questions come in that interview? Interview with a cricketer. What kind of questions? It is not about politics. It is not about science. All the questions are related to cricket. Then he has got fan following, millions. What kind of fans? Not Hindustani music fans. He will have cricket fans. Yes or no? See how the world is changing. Throughout the day, he is in a world. What is that world? The world of cricket. Who chose? He himself chose. How did he choose? He liked it and therefore he chose it. How did he like? Vishaya Pravana. There was a time when he did not even know that such a game existed. Somewhere he was given an opportunity for interaction. Karma Anubandhi. You see. He played, he liked. He liked, therefore he chose. He chose, therefore the world was formed around him. In the same way, each one of us, now you have to look within yourself. What kind of world is around me? Some have created a science world. Some have created a political world. Some have created a sports world. Some have created a music world. How many worlds? Infinite worlds are there. Remember, in each one there are infinite worlds. One music world can have infinite worlds. Yes or no? How many instruments are there? How many different types of music? Oh my God. So we are all this samsara function. We have created a world around us. Now what are the properties of this world? Apply all this. It is okay. This can go on and on and on. You can go on playing in this world. And whatever you desire, it will happen. You can create a world. Now, can you blame God for the world which is around you? No. Why? He has only given what you asked. The entire message of Bhagavad Gita is this. You are suffering because you have asked for suffering. You have got this world because you have asked for this world. Don't do this mistake. It's a big mistake because there is only suffering in the end. Instead, what you should choose? Choose me. The Satchidananda Atma, choose me. The infinite, the blissful, the immortal, the perfect. You choose me and all your miseries will be over. But what is the mistake which I have done? Instead of choosing the blissful Lord, I have chosen the blisterful world. Yes or no? Now when you are asking for something, God has no choice, He has to give you. Bhagawan knows only one thing, Tathastha, bliss. But the choice is ours. If you choose the world will be given to you. If you choose God, God definitely will be given to you. So what is the message of Bhagavad Gita or the message of all Upanishads, all Vedas? What is the message? Stop choosing the wrong thing. Stop choosing the painful thing. Because then you can't blame God, you have to blame yourself only. Right. This is a message of Bhagavad Gita. Make the right choice in life, then everything will be fine. So in order to make the right choice, Bhagawan has to tell you what is the problem with the wrong choice. What is the problem with the wrong choice? The problem is when you choose the world, the end result is only pain and suffering. That is why this description of Samsara is shown in the Vedic. More of it we will see tomorrow. Shankar Guru Jaya Shankar Guru Shankar Guru Jaya Shankar Guru Shankar Bhagavad Pada Shankar Guru Shankar Bhagavad Pada Shankar Guru Shankar Guru Jaya Shankar Guru Shankar Guru Jaya Shankar Guru Shankar Bhagavad Pada Shankar Guru Shankar Bhagavad Pada Shankar Guru Shankar Guru Shankar Guru Shankar Bhagavad Pada Shankar Guru Shankar Bhagavad Pada Shankar Guru Apara Mahima Gurunatha Apara Mahima Gurunatha Kripa Sagara Gurunatha Kripa Sagara Gurunatha Apara Mahima Gurunatha Apara Mahima Gurunatha Kripa Sagara Gurunatha Kripa Sagara Gurunatha Gurunatha Jaya Gurunatha Gurunatha Jaya Gurunatha Sadgurunatha Gurunatha Sadgurunatha Gurunatha 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 Sadgurunatha Gurunatha Sadgurunatha Gurunatha Dina Dayalu Gurunatha Dina Dayalu Gurunatha Paripurna Kripalu Gurunatha Paripurna Kripalu Gurunatha Gurunatha Jaya Gurunatha सर्वे भवन्तु